starter Klippenstein takes the neutral zone draw on the far side, wins it back with a little help, and Pantelis goes back to pick it up in Wheat King territory. Chased out the far side of his net by Brown. The top line for Regina goes to the forecheck. As Maze comes up with the puck, Klippenstein seals him off on the far side. Pantelis pinned by Brown of Regina. Puck bounces around. Klippenstein finds it. Wheat Kings look to break out. Gavin to the near side for Lavoie. He kicks it over the red line, catches up to it, and pokes it into Pats territory. The Pats captain McNutt is on it on the far side. Lost it against the check of Klippenstein. Out to Baumüller to his backhand save. Rebound swept away. Up the near side, Pantelis holds from the right point and shoots, steered away by Schlenker. Lavoie keeps it in from the left point now for the Wheat Kings. Into the far corner. Around the net up the near side. The left-hander goes all the way to the right circle to the slot for Gavin. His backdoor feed was blocked, and Brown of the Pats is on it. The puck is chopped way high in the air. Pantelis gloves it. Wheat Kings can't touch, or it would have been a hand pass. And as zone, it will be to the right of Ruzicka on the near side. Tied up, Pats try to go forward. Now back to the left point. To the right for Ephraim McNutt. The Pats captain goes down the far boards and shoots, put it wide. Up the near side, Hamilton holds for Regina. He flings this wide of the net. Up the far boards, Brown is after it first for the Pats. Down low to Miette on the cycle. Up the far side, Miette got spun around, taken off the puck. Pats will win it down the boards. Dancing his way to the inside is Maze. A penalty coming to the Wheat Kings as Miette tries to drive the goal again. On that far side, Miette is after it. Puck pops free. Johnson touches up for the Wheat Kings at the Regina zone. In the back half of this penalty kill for Mr. Lube, Peranich at his own left circle will lead Regina ahead. Drops it back to the tape of Hamilton, fresh off the bench. Over the Wheat King blue line for Clausen up the left side. Clausen spins it back to the top for McNutt. Dodging down the near boards all the way to the top of the left circle. McNutt winds back. He'll get the return feed at the left point. To the middle, McNutt shoots through traffic, scores! Tipped on the far side by Brown. And Wheat Kings had a good first minute 24 of that penalty kill, but the Pats 13:25 to go in the first. Wheat Kings down 2-0. The most recent goal, a power play tally by Regina. Bounce pass at center, tipped away from Johnson. No icing on the play this time around as McNutt goes back. He'll dodge Turco and come out the far side of his net, then got slammed in hard by Jimmy Egan. As the Wheat Kings dump this back into Pat's territory, McNutt's back to his skates okay. Wagner, who had the first goal of the game for Regina, comes out the far side of his net. Off for Miette, his pass tipped through to Julien Maze, who takes it behind his back. Miette now breaks in, try to move on Pantelis, who stopped him in his tracks. Pat's unable to hold the zone against Klippenstein as Baumüller drags his way to center. He'll go wide to his left and dump this in on Schlenker from distance. Schlenker leaves it in the far corner. Wagner goes up the far side boards. Klippenstein holds the point for the Wheat Kings. To Baumüller at the left circle. He finds the rolling puck on the right side, spins and fires, and he ripped it wide. Brzezinski unable to hold it inside the zone, gets it back at center, and retreats into the Wheat Kings' end. Brzezinski now up the near side, driving his way ahead, got low bridge by Peranich and fell on top of him with 12.5 to go in the first period. Klippenstein on the far side, pokes it up the wall. Pats are able to escape thanks to Maze. He'll get the center up the middle. Pass knocked away to the far side, knocked back into the Wheat Kings zone. Kings zone all the way up the far boards, and Jordan Gavin is first to it for the Wheat Kings back at center for Pantelis. He'll dodge his way right up the middle. Breaks past Maze and gains the Pats zone. Pantelis fires, that rides a stick and goes high. It bounces back up front. Pantelis on the rebound, scores! In a sudden flurry of offense, they're back within one, and the first period just keeps getting wilder. At the Wheat King bench, it's dumped into the Brandon zone. Krause is out to play it. He'll send it hard up the near glass. It heps over Hamilton's stick right to Egan. He'll drive to center, but no further as he's wrapped up by Brown. Over the Pats blue line it comes. Nick Johnson picks it up. He's forced to wind it back and dump it back into Regina territory. It hops to the far side. Sent up the near side to Hamilton of Regina. His pass picked off by Nick Johnson. Johnson driving down the near side boards. Egan comes in to help as he's getting worked over by his opposite number 21, Miette. Rugby scrum develops. Johnson comes up with it. He'll walk off the boards. Johnson all the way to the slot from the middle. Fires, blocked on the far side. Rebound comes to Lavoie at the left circle. He'll get back down low in the far corner for Nick Johnson. Behind the Pats net, Wheat Kings swarm in on it. Johnson trying to lift it ahead. It's poked past him to the far corner. He and McNutt go back for it. McNutt pickpocketed by Johnson on the far side. From the left circle, lifted back out front, but it just missed Egan. And now Regina will wind it up. Brown driving to his right, gets towards the Wheat Kings zone, gains the line and shoots, kick save, Krause big, rebound for Maze, saved by Krause again. Bethal gets the rebound for the Wheat Kings and starts them to center, 3 wide. Bethal right at first, it's been wild, the Wheat Kings are down 3-2. Maze picks off a pass and breaks in from the left circle, got knocked off stride, left it for Hamilton on the far side. Back down low into the corner, Pantelis is there first, shoulder on shoulder with Maze. Klippenstein's in to help for the Wheat Kings as Maze gives Pantelis the business with cross checks, they're jousting away. Hamilton holds the left point for Regina, he'll move wide to his right, dodges a poke check, makes a move to the far corner. Hamilton's still with it, trying to work it off the goal line, missed everybody in white. McNutt holds the right point. He'll move along the far side, carrying wide into the corner, now around the net, feeds it back out front off the outside of the net. It landed behind the Wheat King goal. Baumüller now on the near side, shovels the backhander high. It hops into the Pats zone. Not far enough for icing as McNutt is back for it for the Pats. 5:25 to go in the first. Wheat Kings down 3-2. Hamilton leads the Pats to center. He'll dump this into the Wheat Kings zone. Missed his target, but line to his right. Feeds the trailer. Jacobson from the high slot. A shot rolled wide. Jacobson into his own rebound. Back to Misselbacher for a shot saved by Schlenker as he holds his post and hand against Miette in the circle. Miette wins it back. Bridgman for Regina on the far side. Fires it to center for Julien Maze. He'll break in wide. Got poke check, but stayed onside. From the left circle, he's stood up by Pantelis, who takes him off the puck. Pantelis back behind the Wheat King net to Lavoie. Out the far side for the captain, Hadland. He'll lead the Wheat Kings to center. Over the blue line, now dumped into the right of Schlenker. First back forward is Miette of the Pats. He goes up the near side. Misselbacher seals it, but fanned on his shot, and Miette carries the other way. Maze through center with speed. Back to Miette over the blue line. From the left circle, Miette got taken out of the play by Brzezinski with a good poke check. Hadland joins the pile in the near corner of the Wheat Kings zone. 2:44 to go in the first. Wheat Kings down 3-2. Misselbacher takes the puck. Took the bump to make the play. Back down low. Pats steal it back from the left circle. Maze a shot. Shoulder saved by Wheat Kings on the far side of Pats territory. Durkach ties up and wins it for the Pats. Puck goes up the far glass and out to center. Lavoie knocks it down and steers it back towards the Pats zone. Good stand up by Durkach to knock it down. His break-in pass comes back to him. Sent to the near side. Maze skates onto it from the left circle. Fanned on his pass and worked it out front, but Egan was the only man there. Wheat Kings on the breakout, led by Turco. Towards the zone up the near side. Turco from the right circle throws on the brakes. Feathers it down low to Egan on the forecheck. Left it there for Johnson. Out the far side. Pivoting back to shed Durkach. Johnson shields the puck. Durkach stays with him on that far side. Johnson still around the net on his forehand all the way to the right circle. Back to Pantelis from the right point. He'll fire through traffic. It hits Johnson and comes right back to Pantelis from the right circle. His shot blocked again. 30 seconds to go in the period. Maze winds it up for the Pats. Towards the Wheat Kings zone he goes. Poke checked as his stick folded in half on him and he tossed it away. Wheat Kings get it back at center. Egan will break into his left. Klippenstein will take the draw against Brown, who is back for Regina after having to leave that first period. Brzezinski in the near corner spins back on Bridgman, who stays with him. He'll hand it off to Ronald behind the Wheat King net. Ronald, who, by the way, picked up an assist on Gavin's goal, extends his point streak to 4 games. Brzezinski patiently to center up the near side for Hadland, breaking in with speed. He'll drop it off to Ronald, pinching up. Ronald walks in, fires, tipped on goal. He'll get his own rebound as his shot blocked the stick of Klippenstein, but the pass missed Hadland and goes all the way down the ice. A minute to go in 4-on-4. Kraus is out to play it. To the far side, Klippenstein. Back to the near side, Brzezinski. From his own right circle, Brzezinski quickly to Ronald at center. He'll break in wide to his right on Peranich. Ronald to the far corner, taken off the puck and hit a discarded stick and bounced back to him. Klippenstein in to help, claims the loose puck. Twisting in the far corner. Tries to flip it up the boards to Hadland from the right circle. He'll go skate the stick and drive the middle. Dropped it off to Ronald at the right point. Down low to Klippenstein. Klippenstein spins on Hamilton to shield the puck. Hamilton stays with him as Klippenstein works it back out front. Assist in this one will take his place. Pats win the draw. On the near side, Bridgman fires it ahead. It just gets to center for Brown. Brown towards the Wheat Kings zone, lifts this in on Kraus from range. He steers it off to the far corner. Pantelis there first for Brandon. Maze harassing him on that far side. Baummuller in to help for the Wheat Kings. Pantelis able to force his way ahead, but not out. Bridgman makes the keep. He'll dart in from the left point. At the left circle, he throws it back door of a stick and wide. Pats get it back and feed it out front. Pantelis on the block. Maze's pass rides a stick, comes to the left wall for Bridgman. Back to Miette filling in at the left point. He'll make a move and throw this through traffic, blocked by Pantelis. Maze on it again on the far side. Back to the point for Bridgman. Wide to his right. He shoots through traffic, put it wide. Cone pinches for Regina from the right point and sends it down the boards. As in front, Maze and Pantelis are wrapped up again. Cone in the near corner for Regina, back to Miette at the top. He'll make a couple of moves, lost it to Jordan Gavin, and Gavin will hand it off to Lavoie on the near side. Lavoie with some skating room, carries ahead. He'll work it up, ice is behind the play. We've still got pushing and shoving between. Pats ahead by a pair. Peranich up the near side for Regina, makes a move on Hadland, gets up the boards, and just out to center, his pass hit Hanby in the feet, and the Wheat Kings dump it back in. Gloved at center by Hanby. He'll get over the red line. Got stood up by Bame with a hard check as he dumped it in. Allard in the near corner of Wheat Kings territory. Dropped it off. Bame is on it first. He'll make the neat handoff to Caleb Hadland. Quickly to center. It's tipped into the Pats zone. 8:58 to go in the second. Cone for the Pats. Out the far side boards. Knocked down by Miette, who has the most recent goal in the game. He spots Bridgman galloping ahead. Charging over the blue line to his left. Bridgman in the far circle. Shoots wide. Up the near boards it comes. Cone holds for Regina. Hands it off to Maze at the right circle. Along the umbrella, he goes down low. Cone in the near side. Throws it back door and just missed Miette, who was pinching up to the back side. Miette feeds the top for Maze. From the slot, Maze walks in and fires. Kick save, Kraus. Rebound, Kraus unable to corral it. Wheat Kings get it to the far side, and Misselbacher will get them out to center. Jacobson over the red line, makes a dangle move past Cone from the left side. Jacobson over to Misselbacher, but he couldn't knock it home. He'll pick it up behind the net and feed it out front. Gavin is on it from the right circle to Brzezinski from the slot. He fires, blockered away by Schlenker. Brzezinski on the rebound to the near corner, throws it across, blocked. It's tipped back out front. Schlenker got a good stick on that to prevent it getting to Gavin, and the Pats will just rifle this down the ice. The arm is up, a foot race between Ronald and Maze, and Ronald will just win territory. Miette his opponent after the icing, but Miette does his team a favor and wins it. Puck flipped to center, past Brzezinski and down the ice. The arm is up, and this will be icing.
Great, a shot to the net.
Klippenstein wins the draw, but every Wheat King had to back off, and out to center it comes. Paul pokes it ahead. Brzezinski knocks it down for Brandon. He'll start it back to center. On the near side, Klippenstein dumps it in off a body. Pats get it back. Off another body and back into the Wheat King zone. Up the near side for Maze. He'll throw on the brakes, but Brzezinski cut him off. Wheat Kings on the near side win the puck ahead. It bounces back to Klippenstein. He chops it off to Ronald, who backtracks into his own end. Now for Klippenstein from the middle of Wheat King territory. He'll get back to center with moves. Klippenstein gains the zone wide to his left, charges into the near corner, tries to dance off the boards, left it for Gavin. Back to the near corner, but McNutt cut it off for Regina and threw it back to center. Lavoie knocks down the rolling puck with 4:49 to go in the second. Back on the far side of Wheat King, into his right. Down the far side for the Wheat Kings. Brzezinski charging behind the net. Up the near side on his backhand. Brzezinski hands it off to Ronald, who goes back the way it came. Jacobson behind the Pats net. Away from McNutt out the far side. Still in control at the right circle. Jacobson along the umbrella. Leaves it neatly for Brzezinski on the far side. He shoots through traffic. It's off a body and wide. Misselbacher finds the rebound first. Got spun around by Miette. And Miette is able to get this back to center ice. 2:40 to go in the second period. Brzezinski on the breakout finds Hadland right up the middle. Carrying in, he drops it to Jacobson on the far side, who backhands it back down low. Hadland got there first, but fell in the near corner. Pats to center, led by Clausen. Over the Wheat King blue line for Lansard up the right side. Lansard sends it on goal, sticked away by Kraus. Maze finds the rebound on the far side. Pantelis finds him in a hurry, and they joust away as they've been doing all night. Misselbacher comes in to help for the Wheat Kings, and he leads them to center. Now for Klippenstein up the middle. Now for Hadland over the Wheat King blue line as Pantelis and Maze are at it again behind the play. Hadland unable to corral it as Pantelis had his helmet knocked off. No call coming. Pats get it back at center. Baumüller knocks it away. To the middle goes Baumüller. Over the blue line, wide to his right. Stays onside from the right circle. Baumüller, a shot trapper, save Schlenker. Rebound in the far corner. Gavin finds it first. Knocks it behind the net, but got foiled by the long reach of Bridgman, and the Pats will lift this to the neutral zone. Brzezinski firing it back into Pats territory. 1:48. Egan ties up and wins it. Pantelis skates in, and now he'll skate his way ahead. Pantelis to center, ragging the puck, drives the middle, now drives wide on Hamilton. Pantelis to the outside, gets it to the far corner of the Pats zone, tries to eat the puck. Johnson comes in for the Wheat Kings. The Pats are able to take it away. McNutt gets to center. He'll throw it to the far side, Maze. Over the Wheat King blue line to his left. Maze on the far side stops up and lost the puck doing it. Lavoie gloves it down. Scrum develops on that far wall. Johnson came up with it, and he will send this the length of the ice. 44 seconds to go in the period. Wheat Kings on the penalty kill for Mr. Lube. Hamilton goes back behind the Regina net and leaves it there for the captain, McNutt, as the Wheat Kings make power play changes. Maze to center. Over the Wheat King blue line. Makes a move to the inside. Throws it to the far side for Hamilton. Into the far corner. He throws on the brakes and sets the Pats up. Maze from the left point. He'll move along the umbrella to his right, finding McNutt at that right side. McNutt goes to Maze at the right circle. Back to McNutt at the top. The right-hander fakes the shot, waits for a lane, finds Maze. He slaps it across to Hamilton. From the left circle, Hamilton fires, blocked by Hadland, and that'll steer it out to center. 10 seconds in the period as McNutt goes back into Pats territory. Hadland chases him in, and time will tick off in this middle frame. Peranich tries to wind it up for one more rush, but he hasn't the time, and that'll bring as the Wheat Kings win the ensuing faceoff. Ronald gets over the red line, dumps it in as it hits some bad ice. It comes up the near side to Misselbacher. Worked down to the near corner. McNutt knocks it away for the Pats. Misselbacher seals his dump out lane on that near side. Tries to work it down low. It misses Gavin and comes all the way to the far corner. Hamilton is there for Regina. Pats on the breakout to center, picked off by Misselbacher. He'll work back into his own zone for Dylan Ronald. From his own left circle, Ronald works it ahead against the checking of Maze, drops it off to Brzezinski. Up the far boards to Jacobson. On the far side, he flips it to Ronald, who's got a step over the blue line to his right. He'll drop it off to Gavin at the right circle. Gavin fires at the post. Up the near side it comes. Wheat Kings have got to get back in a hurry as Maze sends it ahead, but he missed Rolison. And as Brzezinski goes back, icing is against Clausen. They tie one another up, but it's the Pats who claim it. They'll fire this high to center. The hopping puck gets over the red line. Cam Allard knocks it down for Brandon. To the right of Schlenker. Jacobson and Durkach tangle with one another in the dot. Puck rally. Brzezinski to Misselbacher at the right circle with room. Misselbacher holds, but the puck rolled on him, and the Pats have the easy clear. Kraus steers it back behind his net and leaves it for Grayson Brzezinski. He'll start the Wheat King breakout on this power play, which has 1:42 remaining in it. Brzezinski calmly to center, drops it off. Misselbacher over the red line, plays it ahead to Turco up the near side. Turco to the far side. Gavin with room, walks in, fires, scores! Near side, Miette with room, walks into the backhand, had it knocked away by Ronald. Miette gets it back, but lost it to Hadlin on the far wall. Jacobson to Ronald behind the Wheat King net, and Dylan Ronald will reset as the Wheat Kings look to break out. 14:45 to go in the third. A 6-5 Wheat King lead, their first of the contest. Jacobson to the far side for Brzezinski. He'll join the rush and gain the zone wide to his left. Stops up on Bridgman, who's able to put the shoulder into him and knock him off the puck. In the far corner of the Pats zone, Jacobson comes in to try and lift it loose. Cone, Bridgman, and Brzezinski in there as well. A lot of human being on that side. All guys around that 6'3", 200-pound range. Cone got poke checked. Hadlin comes up with it. Tries to walk behind the net. Got poke checked again. Down goes Bridgman. The arm goes up, and the Wheat Kings are going to their guys in this power play position. Right off the draw, Baumüller finds it and hops it in on Schlenker from distance. Starting the Wheat King penalty kill for Mr. Lube on the right foot. McNutt for Regina. Driving to his left towards the neutral zone. Hooks it back to Hamilton with skating room. Up the middle he comes, over the Wheat King blue line to Clausen on the left side. Clausen spins it back to the top. Just like that, Regina is set. McNutt works down the near side to the corner. Behind the net for Clausen. Clausen tries to feed it out front, blocked by Lavoie. Lavoie sends it up the boards, not out. It's some to the right point for Hamilton. He'll lean into a drive through traffic, and Krause saw that all the way and hung on. Clausen ties up, won it to the far side, but Pantelis was there first. To Egan on the wall, and Jimmy Egan will waste no time getting this the length of the ice. Schlenker's out to play it for Regina. 13:35 to go in the third. He'll make the play to the Pats captain, McNutt. To center with speed. Gavin got the strip on him, but was not able to catch up to it. Hamilton now towards the Wheat King zone. Handed it off to Clausen. Pantelis stood up on him. McNutt follows up. He'll throw it to the far side. Maze from the right circle back to the top for McNutt with traffic. McNutt through traffic, blocked by Egan for the draw. Wins it to Turco to the high slot. He shoots, put it high. On the near side, Hamilton for Regina. Sends this up the middle and out to center. Brzezinski knocks down the rolling puck. Tries to keep it away from Rolison and gets it back to center. Pats are on it. They'll dump it in hard. Krause is out to play it. To the near side, Brzezinski, and around the far boards to Ronald. His flip pass finds Egan, and Egan steers this to the neutral zone. Missed Turco. This is going to go in on Schlenker, who thought about playing it as he fell. It pops back out front, and Schlenker decides to hang on after a bit of an awe as Ronald to hold the zone. To the far corner, Egan is on it, shoulder on shoulder with Hamilton. Pats claim the puck. Miette spun it out front, lost it to Egan. To Turco on the high slot for a shot, steered away by Schlenker. Turco's on the rebound. Egan from the slot shoots. Johnson after the rebound. Pats clean it up, but not out. Turco back to the left point, just missed Ronald. Out to center it comes. 10:40 to go in the third. Wheat Kings with that 6-5 lead, clearly trying to add to it. Brzezinski on the Lube penalty kill. Klippenstein and Clausen for the draw on the far side. Klippenstein goes forward with it, fought loose but couldn't clear. Pats on the far side, Maze from the right circle. Waits, throws it back to McNutt at the top. To the near side, Hamilton. Back to McNutt on the far side. McNutt slaps it low to Maze at the right circle. Back to McNutt, he goes skate to stick. Klippenstein chases him down the far boards. Pats keep control. Clausen in that far corner off the wall. Sends it back out front. Krause the save. Rebound sits in the slot. Baumüller finds it first. He'll make sure this gets the length of the ice. 8:50 to go in the third. Wheat Kings on the penalty kill for Mr. Lube for 1:30 out of all that melee in the Pats zone. Clausen breaks in for Regina, wide to his left. Pantelis comes in and seals him off immediately. Back behind the Wheat King net, it comes up the near side. Hadlin pokes it ahead, trying to pull away on Hamilton, but Hadlin got too much on it, and Maze is back in Regina territory to scoop it up. Maze goes back behind the Regina net. He'll leave it there for Reese Hamilton, the former Calgary Hitman, 4th overall pick, leads the Pats to center with 1:05 to go in their power play. Hansman changes his mind. We'll try that draw again, and Jacobson wins another one. Pantelis up the near side, fights through a check, lost it to Maze, who got stapled by Pantelis, and the Wheat Kings take the puck back. Lavoie on the far side, sends this to center for Misselbacher, too far, and another icing coming up again. Kings have a 6-5 lead, and off the draw, Wheat Kings win another one. Pantelis goes up the near glass. Peranich kicks it down for Regina from their left point. Jacobson makes the strip and sends the Wheat Kings ahead. Hadlin to center, dodges Bridgman, gets swept to the far boards, but gets over the red line, dodges a check and kicks it over the blue line. Pats recover on that far side as the Wheat Kings change. It's flipped to the neutral zone. Brzezinski carries ahead for Brandon. Over the blue line to Jacobson at the right circle. Jacobson tried to drop it back off. Pats poke it away. It goes high, but stays inside Pats territory where Peranich finds it as the Wheat Kings get in their forward change. Bridgman for Regina hands it to Peranich in the middle. Up the near side to Clausen. Brzezinski stood up on him and knocked him off the puck. Over the blue line it came for a moment. Pats got it back to center, and now back into the Pats zone. Bridgman on the far side, wide to his right. He'll dump it ahead to spring Karimov right up the middle. Karimov walks into his backhand, drives to the forehand, poke check by Kraus. Wheat Kings find the rebound first and come to center 3 wide. Turco over the Pats blue line, drops it off to Nick Johnson. Johnson to the high slot, fires, blocked by Hamilton. Rebound to the far boards, Turco is on it. He'll leave it behind the net for Jimmy Egan. Up the near side on his forehand, stuffed by Schlenker. Maze is on the rebound for Regina from the left circle. He'll cautiously skate ahead, makes a move on Egan, and drives the middle with 5 to go in the third. To the far side, Fawcett breaking. Both guys left-handed, they tie up. Puck comes free to Misselbacher. He'll strong-arm his way up the near boards and just out to center ice. Pats recover and work it back into their zone. McNutt on the far side sends it to Clausen, who tips this into Wheat King territory. Pantelis behind the Brandon net. Outweights Karimov's forecheck, winds to his left and dodges Maze. Pantelis now right up the middle. His pass missed Jacobson, but does get into the Pats zone to buy the Wheat Kings time to get some fresh legs. 2.5 to go in the third. Wheat Kings up by 1 as Reese Hamilton carves his way towards their zone. Dumps this into the near corner. Brzezinski is there first behind the Brandon net. Left it neatly for Pantelis. His hook pass blocked by Karimov. Pantelis comes right in on him, kicks the puck away. It comes free to Turco at the right circle. Turco feeds the middle for Johnson, and out to center the Wheat Kings come. Johnson gets the red line and softly drifts this in deep. Turco to the forecheck behind the Pats net. Forced to turn over for a moment. The Pats will recover as there's now less than 2 to play in the third. Pats to center for Clausen. Made a move on Gavin to get it to the near side. Maze of the Pats shovels the backhander high. Lansard couldn't knock it down. Lavoie's there first for the Wheat Kings. He goes up the boards. Gavin gets it to center ice. Matt Peranich tracks back. He'll go to the near side. Miette over the Wheat King blue line. He fed it on to Maze at the left circle. Maze tried to feed it back. It comes to Peranich. He'll drag and fire. Saved by Pats. To the right of Kraus in the Wheat King zone. It's tied up. The Pats send it back. From the left point, Peranich seeds it to the near corner. Lansard worked up on by Lavoie on the near side. Lavoie pins him hard. Pats get numbers and take the puck back. Fawcett at the left circle. Back to the point for Peranich. To the far side for the captain, McNutt. He'll go down to Maze, but it hops on him to that far corner. Pantelis is there first, tries to eat it against the wall. 1:17 to go in the third. Pats get it back. Maze off the boards, tried to fire it across. Gavin got a stick on it to steer it high. Lansard for Regina on the near side. Left it for Fawcett. He'll spin back on the near boards. To the left point for Peranich. Peranich fires through traffic, fought off by Kraus. Rebound sits in the slot. Wheat Kings kick it away. Kraus trying to cover it. Lavoie behind the net, lost it to Maze. Final minute of the third. McNutt goes down to Maze on the far side. He'll throw it across for a one-timer kick. Save Kraus. Rebound. Troy Fawcett somehow knocked it high. And all the way around the boards it comes to center. McNutt backing into the Pat zone. 48 seconds to go in the third. Wheat Kings with a 1-goal lead.